Hello and good evening, CSI 135 students. The following is going to be the video tutorial solution set for the midterm exam, the portion that was required on the system vader.aacc.edu. I actually have the exam questions displayed in a separate window, so I'll read them and work through. Alright, first, number one. It says there is a file located in the following directory, and that directory is /temp/midterm/ whoops, got an extra character in there. cd/temp/midterm/answer/key no really. Okay, so as you can see, we're in the directory. It says, what is the answer to the question in the file? So if I type ls, you'll notice I don't see anything immediately. But if I do an ls-l a, you can see that we do have a file in here. It's a hidden file because, again, hidden files begin with a period, right? So in order to see a file that's been bzipped, we could try to uncompress the file, or you can use bzcat on .midterm.answerKey. Whoops. So there we go. So question, what is the decimal representation for the permissions on this file? So here is the permission set for the file .midterm.answerKey.bz2. The first setting is for whether it's a directory or a regular file. Then you have read, write, and execute. So here only write and execute are on. So the value of write is 2, the value of the x is 1. So the first permission setting for the owner of the file is 3. Then you have read, write, and execute where only execute is on, so then it's 1. And then read, write, and execute for the group, for everyone else. If you're not the owner and you're not in the faculty group, your permissions are read, write, and execute, which is 7. So the answer for this question would be 3, 1, 7. All right, on to number 2. Number 2 says there is a file located in the /temp/midterm/cheat/sheet/answers. And so let's see what that file is. And the name of the file is *.bz2. And question number 2 says, what is the answer to the question in the file? Also, if you're unable to get into the directory or open the file, why? So let's see if we can do a bzcat on this. And I should be able to do bzcat*, and I can. So question, what are the permissions on the directory in which this file is located? So remembering that the period by itself represents the current working directory. And here we go right here. So there's the permissions that we're looking for. So the D, again, in the first bit signifies that it's a directory. You then have read, write, and execute where only execute is on. So that's a 1. You then have read, write, execute for the group, faculty, where only write permissions are on, and that's 2. And then you have read, write, and execute for everybody else. So again, if you're not the owner and you're not a member of the faculty group, the last 3 permission settings apply to you. And read and execute together equal 4. So the permissions would be 1, 2, 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 4 is the answer to question number 2. Question number 3, there is a file located in the following directory, and so let's cd down here. Temp, Jurassic Park, Dino SAURS /pictures. We'll type ls-lai. So it says trex.gz. So if I try to do a gzip-d to decompress trex.gz, you'll notice I get permission denied because the permission set that applies to me is this last permission set here, read, but no write and no execute. So I don't have the ability to write anything into this directory or on this file. So I can't change, or I can't unzip the file. I can't modify the file. So if you look, when I type ID, you can see that that's my student ID, and my group is the student group. So I'm not the owner. I'm not in the faculty group. In fact, this account is in the student group. So again, I have read permissions on the file. But what I can do is I can copy trex.gz, and I'm going to copy it into temp. So let's move into temp, and now do an ls-lai on trex.gz. And now, since I've copied the file into the temp directory, I am now the owner, and I am now a member of, I'm a member of the student group. So, more importantly, I'm the owner. So I can change this file now. So if I do a gzip-d on trex.gz, and then if I cat trex, you can see that we don't have a T-Rex, we have the Easter Bunny, since Easter's coming up. All right, so the answer to number 3 is a bunny, or a rabbit. All right, question number 4. Somewhere on the class system, vader.aacc.edu, there exists a file named Find Me If You Can. Your task is to answer the question in the file. So, if you remember from 2 weeks ago, as part of the lab, inside, and let me go into the home directory here, inside of our .bash_profile file, we created a function called who's on. Now, we also created in our .bashrc file an alias called ff, right? And so it's this alias that we're going to use. So I'm actually going to change to the bash shell here quickly. And as you can see, if I type in alias all by itself, it'll show you the aliases that are loaded. And again, this was the script that we created in our bin directory. So if I type pwd, I'm in my home directory. If I type lsbin, you can see I have that script seeker.bash. So let me cat bin/seeker.bash. And basically, what we have is a script that runs the find command. We've created an alias for that script, so all I would have to do is type in ff and then the name of the file that I'm looking for. Find me if you can. And the script runs, and it says it's in /temp/I wish I would have completed lab number 5, because if you did not complete lab number 5 2 weeks ago, you did not have the ff alias and the seeker.bash script created. So this one would have been tough. All right, question number 5. What should you always do before you edit a file? Always make sure that you create a copy of any file before you edit it. That way, if the editing goes wrong or something happens, you always have a backup. Question number 6. Who is the only user on the class system who is using the shell created by David Korn? So if you remember, the default login shell is in the etc password file in the final field, the 7th field in the etc password file. So if you'll remember from the lecture, the Korn shell is KSH. So if I cat the etc password file out and pipe it to grep for KSH, I should get the answer I'm looking for. And I do. The only user on the class system, vader.aacc.edu, who's using the Korn shell right now is CSI 135B25. And that's actually the student user that I use to walk through these tutorials. All right, question number 7. Whoops. All right, I've been logged out, now I'm logging back in. Question number 7. What is the login shell being used by CSI 235A6? So again, what we would want to do, okay, so again, we're going to try to figure out what the login shell, which login shell is being used by user CSI 235A6. So cat etc password, and we're going to grep for CSI 235A6. All right, and we can see that user 235A6 is actually using the C shell created by Bill Joy. All right, so that's the answer to number 7, /bin/CSH or the C shell. Question number 8, who is the only user that is logging onto the class system from the following IP address? And it's 172.25.134.49. So for that, we would use the last command with the -w, because we want to see the whole IP address and the entire username. And then I'm going to grep on 172.25.134.49. And there you have it. It is user CSI 135G3. And let's see if we can get any additional information about user 135G3. And it's Mr. Beaudelet. So there you go. Okay, that was the answer to number 8, CSI 135G3. Question number 9. There is a file named question located in the following directory: /temp/if I had only paid attention in class ... So I'm in that directory, ls-lai, and there's the file question. So if I cat question, it says how many lines are in the etc password file. So again, we're going to cat the etc password file, and we're going to pipe it to wc -l. And again, that's to do the line count for us. And the answer is 670. So the answer for number 9 is 670. Number 10, how many times did individuals log onto the class system according to the existing system log during the month of February? So again, we're going to use the last command. And the output for the last command looks like the following. So if I were to type in last and then grep February, I would get a list of only the logins that occurred in February. So here they are. And as you can see, there's quite a few, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and run the exact same command. Oops, back up here. Run the exact same command again, last, and I'm going to grep on February, but this time I'm going to pipe it to wc -l. All right. So there were 415 logins to the class system during the month of February. All right, those were the 10 questions that were required on the system Vader as part of your midterm exam. Remember to continue to keep reading, continue to keep practicing, and continue to keep asking great questions. All right, I will see everybody next Wednesday, and have a great weekend.